The road to the 2020 Kentucky Derby continues. Let's take a look back at the Oaklawn Stakes at Oaklawn Park Saturday afternoon, and we had a couple of favorites in this race. Going off, the official favorite was 1,000 Words. He shipped in from Santa Anita. Meanwhile, Taishan, a fast Oaklawn winner, was 5-2, and then Basin, the hopeful winner from last fall, was 3-1. Those three were bet down as the three kind of co-favorites, and the pace was strong early on. A couple of horses dueled for the lead. It was Gold Street taking the advantage from the outside. He kind of set the pace. Then it was Sir Rick chasing in second. Basin moved up along the inside and had a good trip. But the pace fell apart late, and it was Mr. Big News at 46-1, rolling late and picking up the victory. Mr. Big News with a distance pedigree, trained by Brett Calhoun, the son of Giant's Causeway out of a Galileo mare. He had kind of hinted at some ability. He had ran twice on sloppy surfaces, ran against Succession, and then ran second against Strike Appeal, and that was as a 2-year-old. This year he had started twice, won his debut race on the year, and then finished an even 5th in his most recent outing in the Risen Star in the second division, losing to Modernist. He'd ran evenly that day out of an inside post position. This time he came rolling late on the turn, picked up the pieces late, and now he gets a win and you're in to the Preakness Stakes later on this year. And he also gets a top 3 finish in this race, gets you into the Arkansas Derby coming up on May the 2nd. The runner-up was Farmington Road. He continues to improve. He had ran a wide trip and rallied late at the fairgrounds in his most recent start. Todd Pletcher trained Quality Road Son, picked up the pieces late again, was coming on late and finished second in this race. And those two kind of spread themselves out from the rest of the field. The time was 1:49 and right around 2. And overall, the track was sloppy. It had rained for about an hour before this race. So definitely a sloppy track as we take a look back. Really no excuse. Basin, the distance limitations are starting to show on him. And then with 1,000 Words, I think, you know, those two short fields kind of gave people a little bit of false hope in that 4-horse field in the Los Alamos Futurity and then a 6-horse field in his other stakes win. And now that kind of has to question some of the form of Annie Dior. Some of those California horses that have shipped out have not done so well now. It was Royal Act losing at the fairgrounds, 1,000 Words losing in this race, Nadal only winning by a diminishing length in his debut and his second lifetime start. So we'll see. You know, we still don't really have a gauge where some of those West Coast horses are at. In the Arkansas Derby, we're going to have probably a 14-horse field. And you're going to have horses like Nadal, Charlatan, probably Farmington Road will move on to that race. The winner here, Mr. Big News, and a few others will continue to point for that race. And we'll see if any of the Florida Derby horses ship in for that one as well. So that's a look at the Oaklawn Stakes. What did you think of Mr. Big News? Do you think Farmington Road has a little bit more upside in him? And what about the disappointing effort by 1,000 Words? He just did not fire. Now, he broke badly, and that really stopped all of his chances. So maybe you got to kind of give him a little bit of a break for that. But he stumbled badly at the start, was mid-pack early, and just never rallied. So a little bit of a trip note for the favorite 1,000 Words. Taishan just ran out of gas, made a nice mid-race move, but really didn't want to go 1 1/8 in this type of company. That's a look at the Oaklawn Stakes, the recap. Don't forget, hit subscribe, like, smash that like button, and leave a comment. What did you think of the Oaklawn Stakes? Share this video with all your racing friends as we lead you up to the 2020 Kentucky Derby.